early spring morning in the Arctic. 3 scientists, 2 men and 1 woman, were standing over a table inside their warming hut. They were reviewing their map and preparing for the day's work. This was day number 28 in their month-long assignment. Only a few more outings, and they'd be ready to publish their findings. "Let's take measurements from here today," said the woman, pointing to a spot 50 miles away. "No one has collected data from this area before."
"Good idea," said another scientist. "It will be good to compare the thickness of the ice there with other locations."
The scientists pulled on their snowsuits and strapped on their boots. Stepping outside, they looked at the thermometer hanging by the door of the hut. The mercury read 20 degrees Fahrenheit.
"Another warm day in one of the coldest places on Earth,"
said one. The other scientists chuckled at the joke. After fastening their tools to their snowmobiles, they started the engines. Within moments, the trio was traveling across the frozen plain. Within an hour, they'd arrived at their destination. They hopped off their snowmobiles and began organizing their tools. One of the scientists noticed some buildings in the distance. They looked like isolated warming huts.
"What are they?"
said one. "Let's check them out," said another. As they walked toward the huts, an enormous noise ripped through the air. Behind the buildings, chunks of ice and earth burst from the ground. The force of the explosion was so great it knocked the trio off their feet. Dazed, the scientists lay on their backs. Soon they were aware of another sound. This time it was the roaring sound of approaching snowmobiles, getting closer and closer.
"Who do you think that is?"
said one of the men, looking scared. "I don't know," said the woman. The drivers of the snowmobiles had black helmets painted with flames and darkened visors covering their eyes.
"I have a bad feeling about this," said the other man.
"Me too," said the woman. "Let's get out of here." The scientists crawled to their knees and began to run. They sprinted in the direction of their snowmobiles. If they could get to a radio, they could call for help. The first snowmobile slid in front, blocking their path. The scientists turned and ran the other way. The second snowmobile trapped them from behind. Realizing what was happening, the trio looked around wildly.
"Don't hurt us,"
said one scientist. He put his hands in the air to show he didn't have any weapons. "We won't tell anyone what we've seen," pleaded the woman. By now, all of the scientists had their hands held high.
"We know you won't,"
sniggered one of the drivers. Pulling a long tube from his rucksack, he flashed it at the scientists.
"Please, don't!"
begged one of the men. Although he didn't know what the tube was for, he had a bad feeling it wouldn't be good news. But the driver ignored their pleas. He aimed the tube at the scientists and pumped the lever that was underneath. A fine dust burst into their faces. As it crept into their noses, they fell to the ground with a thud.
"Let's tie them up,"
said one driver to the other,
"and kill their radios."
The driver